Well, 61,000 deaths, 1.1 million infections worldwide. The coronavirus pandemic is far from over. As the world continues to reel under its outbreak, let's tell you more about Africa, and particularly South Africa, that seems to have acted fast to contain its spread. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has emerged as a leader who has seized the urgency of the moment and imposed tough restrictions. The public healthcare workers took to the streets as the government has announced mass door-to-door testing of COVID-19 cases. In Yeoville, a crime-prone area in Johannesburg, 8 small groups have been dispatched to help contain the outbreak.
Ngizizwa nginokuthemba kakhulu mangiphethe sanitizer nje ngoba amathuba ukuthi siyithola azolengca enesibonge kakhulu sanitizer le.
And before the rollout of the mass screening and testing, more than 47,000 people have been tested already, 6,000 of them at public health centers. But after this new testing drive, the country will be able to test 30,000 people every day. The government has imposed a 3-week strict lockdown, but there have also been reports of harassment. There are reports of police and the army beating, harassing and shooting people under the lockdown. Moreover, there has been the struggle over imposing social distancing and effective hygiene in some of the poorest neighborhoods where many fear the virus could wreak havoc. This fear is being felt in not just South Africa but throughout the continent. So let's take you now to Malawi, and which has become the 50th African country to be affected by COVID-19. The pandemic is expected to put heavy pressure on the country's already struggling healthcare system.
Uthenga umene ndawulandira mwankhawa kwambiri chifukwa choti dziko lathu lino tili mavuto kale ambiri amene akuchitika dziko lathu lino monga mudziwa kuti votereni palibe chilichonse chimene chilongosoka ndiye ndi muliri umenewu tili ndi nkhawa kwambiri kuti zitithera bwanji.
Meanwhile, the European Union has agreed to provide more aid to Africa for coping with the outbreak. Now let's shift to focus to West Asia. Turkey has recorded more than 20,000 cases and over 400 people have died. In the latest move, President Recep Erdogan has imposed a partial curfew for citizens under the age of 20. The country has also shut down borders of 31 cities, including Istanbul. Except for transit of essential commodities, Ankara has halted all international flights, limited domestic travel and closed schools to contain the pandemic. But people are still going to work as Erdogan seeks to sustain the economy.
Bu gece itibariyle ülkemizin 30 büyük şehri ile akciğer rahatsızlıklarının sık görüldüğü Zonguldak ilimizi belirli istisnalar haricinde araç giriş çıkışına kapatıyoruz.
After the fifth and final call to a prayer in Istanbul, an additional prayer was held for protection from the pandemic.
Da sıkıntı içerisindeyiz. Sadece Müslümanlar olarak değil, bütün insanlık olarak şu anda büyük bir musibeti yaşıyoruz. Virüs belasını yaşıyoruz. İşte bu beladan kurtulmak için her zaman olduğu gibi, rahat zamanlarımızda olduğu gibi dar zamanlarımızda da Rabbimize yalvaracağız. Ondan affımızı isteyeceğiz. O da bize yardım edecek inşallah.
In Saudi Arabia, King Mohammed bin Salman has ordered up to $2.4 billion for the private sector workers. This to deter companies from laying off their staff. In total, Saudi Arabia has announced an emergency stimulus package of $32 billion to tackle the fallout from the pandemic. The country has recorded over 2,000 cases and 25 deaths so far. Moving on now to Iran, that has recorded over 50,000 cases and more than 3,000 people have lost their lives. In the city of Tehran, the Iranian military and emergency workers held drives to disinfect the streets and public spaces to combat the spread of the virus. Many of Iran's top leaders have also contracted the novel coronavirus. In Syria, More than 100,000 people are living in refugee camps. The Al-Hol refugee camp houses about 66,000 people who are living in dire conditions. Doctors fear for the worst here if coronavirus hits Syria's northwest region, where hospitals lie in ruins and camps are overflowing with people devastated by 9 years of civil war. It could be many more deaths and infections.